The doctor, who calls himself the Body Whisperer, sits in stunned silence as the young women he abused are shouting out to the world,
Larry Nassar is a monster.
The more than 250 survivors of the Predator have been waiting for this moment, his sentencing.
No matter what Larry was supposed to be treating on me over the years, usually my ankles or my knees, his fingers always seem to find their way inside me, never once wearing gloves.
And Nassar is forced to sit through and listen to the words of every survivor who speaks.
You have pissed off the wrong army of women. Thank you.
Nassar seems to be hiding his face from his accusers. Why? Not because he's moved, but because he says he's uncomfortable. Incredibly, the Predator writes a bizarre 6-page letter in which he complains about having to listen to the stories of his victims. Judge Rosemary Aquilina reads it to the courtroom.
I'm very concerned about my ability to be able to face witnesses this next 4 days mentally.
Her look of disgust says it all.
Would you like to withdraw your plea?
No, Your Honor.
Because you are guilty, aren't you? Are you guilty, sir?
I said my plea, exactly.
He later tries to apologize.
I'm so horribly sorry that this was like a match that turned into a forest fire out of control. And I pray the rosary every day for forgiveness for I want them to heal. I want this community to heal.
But his woe is me apology seems to fall on deaf ears. And now it's time for the moment every one of his victims wants to hear.
I wouldn't send my dogs to you, sir.
The judge shows why her nickname is Barracuda Aquilina.
As much as it was my honor and privilege to hear the sister survivors, it is my honor and privilege to sentence you. Because, sir, you do not deserve to walk outside of a prison ever again. You have done nothing to control those urges, and anywhere you walk, destruction will occur.
Aquilina gives him the maximum.
Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months. I've just signed your death warrant.
Up to 175 years in a cold, damp cell. But it's not over yet. Far from it. Nassar faces sentencing in another court in another county.
I really feel that my entire family has gone through hell and back these last few months because of what Larry Nassar did to both my sisters and I years ago.
And this father of 3 daughters Nassar molested is waiting.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon. Would you do that?
That is not how
yes or no?
No, sir, I can't.
Would you give me
that.
1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how our legal system.
Randy Margraves lunges at Nassar. Bailiffs tackle him. The judge refuses to fine or jail him because she says she understands his anguish. In the wake of the Nassar scandal, MSU's president, Luana Simon, resigned, issuing this statement: to the survivors, I can never say enough that I am so sorry that a trusted, renowned physician was really such an evil, evil person who inflicted such harm under the guise of medical treatment. Simon says she will cooperate with the investigation by Michigan's Attorney General, who vows to find out who knew what and when.
This guy is a monster, and what he did under this guise, this hoax of providing medical treatment to young women, shocks the conscience.
And coach Kathy Klages was suspended and later retired from MSU, saying the allegations against Nassar deeply disturbed her, and says she's extremely distressed by the claims she tried to stonewall those reports of sexual misconduct. Crime Watch Daily made repeated calls to Klages for a comment, but never heard back. That's no shock to Nassar's presumed first victim, Larissa Boyce.
Has your former coach ever apologized to you?
No.
But you like her to.
Yeah, I would love for her to do the right thing.
Nassar's total sentence adds up to centuries. 60 years in the federal pen for possession of child pornography. 40 to 175 years for 7 counts of sexual assault in Ingham County. And 40 to 125 years for 3 counts of sexual assault in Eaton County. Nassar is 54 years old. When he leaves prison, it'll be in a pine box.
Some days I don't want to get out of bed. Some days I just don't want to have to face having to think about it.
I would say you're entitled to those days in bed. Do you think that you will ever be able to forgive him? Do you think there's anything he could do to gain your forgiveness?
There's nothing that he could say to me for me to forgive him. People say, like, forgive and forget. If I have to forgive him, sure, but I'm not going to be able to forget about it.
And in an ironic coincidence, the Federal Bureau of Prisons lists Nassar as an inmate in the same prison where the man who kidnapped our Elizabeth Smart is spending his life behind bars, a high-security facility in Arizona. But the legal fallout is far from over. He's now facing civil lawsuits from his victims, and the organizations and institutions he was associated with are as well. So what happens next? We have brought in Crime Watch Daily legal contributor Misty Maris to break down some aspects of the story. Misty, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
How long do you think these civil suits play out?
This is going to be years and years. Civil cases are about damages. You also have 2 other civil actions, one against Michigan State and one against US Gymnastics. Now, they have separate defenses, separate legal arguments. Michigan State is a state university, so there are certain defenses such as governmental immunity, which means that the standard is a little bit higher. It's not negligence, it's recklessness, deliberate indifference. They've also raised the defense that not all of the people that are the plaintiffs in the civil suit were students or employees of the university. What they're doing right now, Michigan State filed a motion to dismiss. They're going to try and narrow the pool, see if some of those claims will be dismissed. But, Chris, no way this case is dismissed in its entirety.
I know for a fact that the lawyers involved with the insurance settlements here have estimated this to be a $1.5 billion with a B dollar case.
Especially with what we know now, that there was certain information that was going to higher ups. The question is, how high did this go at Michigan State? Who knew and when?
Misty, as always, thanks for weighing in on this case, and we'll be sure to follow it as it moves forward. For updates, you can go to our website, crimewatchdaily.com. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.